Okay, so the pilot hubs, what we've asked people to do, the pilot hubs, there's a lot of information on our blog site about what's been happening with the pilot hubs. So I've asked people literally to say maybe 1 minute about one thing that has come out of the pilot hub discussion so far. There's a wealth of information there online which would take many hours to summarise. So let's just go around those. Sandy, were you going to say something about the Campuses and Communities Hub? Oh, you need to turn on your...
I think Nick was. Are you able to speak to that, Nick? Sorry.
No, Nick, I think Nick passed it to you on the basis he couldn't make it at the last meeting.
All I can say from my perspective, I've had a full-on teaching semester. We've been hard at work as a university community of practice with our community stakeholder groups, putting together an application for a UNRCE, Regional Centre of Expertise in Education for Sustainable Development. So we're still hard at work now, and Sheridan next to me has been part of that writing group. So yeah, so it's all hands to the deck really at the moment. So hopefully by the end of the year, we're hoping that we will have a fully fledged UNRCE ESD. So watch this space.
One thing, Sandy, that's more general out of the Campuses and Communities for Sustainability discussion group.
I might have to hand that over to Nick, if that's okay.
Nick, would you like to say something?
Yes, I will. Yeah, so I think we're still grappling with the question. A couple of key questions around for community defining sustainability. It's certainly easy for us in the academia to at least grapple with it. Engaging community, that's still an issue we're grappling with. One thought which hasn't come directly out of that hub, but does go further, is the issue or the potential of, say, developing MOOC or MOOCs as a means of wider community engagement. Just looking around at the sort of numbers of those engaged. So, for example, the Climate Denial 101 MOOC being led by John Cook, incredible the amount of community engagement that's actually achieving. So I guess just sort of throwing that into the mix in terms of a thought to extend our thinking of what community engagement may be looking like within that hub.
So where the energy is, where the interest is, yeah. Now, Joe Lang's in the audience here. So, Joe, do you want to say something about the teacher education group? Because you've had quite a bit.
Hi, my name is Josephine Lang, and I've been asked to facilitate the Teacher Ed Hub. And we've had a couple of meetings since we started this year and events. One of the first things that we decided to do was try and work out what we wanted out of our hub, and we agreed that what we really wanted to focus on was the idea of opportunities to collaborate across the nation. So we came up with 3 things: share our practice with each other and find people working in similar fields or areas, learn from each other, and research. So that's kind of driving us. And as a consequence of that, we thought about developing our digital footprint and working out how we can use that to help facilitate our collaboration. So we'd really like to encourage you to go and have a look at our website profile on the Teacher Hub, and you'll see there that we've got things like our meeting notes, I suppose, and outcomes of what we've done when we have met. We've got our video recordings, and also we've started a Facebook page, and we wanted a way to connect with each other. So we've also created a space where we can add our membership so that everyone can see it and who's who in the zoo, and work out who wants to meet up with who. So we're really hoping to use this as a way to kind of I suppose facilitate some collaboration, particularly in strategies and learning and research. Is that 1 minute?
That's great, Jo. So Jo's our model for 1 minuteness. Not that you weren't, Nick, you were great. One of the exciting new groups that just started up is the Arts Hub. They got in touch with me, and Sheridan Emery was one of the sort of pushes for this. Sheridan, do you want to just say something about the Arts Hub? We had one meeting.
Thanks, Colin. Yes, this is sort of an informal partnering between the Sustain Ed Network and the World Alliance of Arts Education. Connections were made last year during the WAAE World Congress, which was at Griffith Uni in Brisbane. And basically there was sort of an alignment between the goals of WAAE, the World Arts Education Alliance, whatever it is. Their mission is aligned with the Millennium Development Goals, which is soon to be replaced with the Sustainable Development Goals. So they needed a way to collaborate and to be able to share resources. And so it just seemed to line up. And we wanted the hub established ahead of UNESCO International Arts Education Week, which is coming up from May 25 to 31. Arts Education Week occurs every year in the 4th week of May, and it provided a space to start communicating and sharing some arts education resources. So if you go to the Arts Education Hub on the Sustain Ed Network, you'll see there's a link through to the resources page. And in there is an Arts Education Week information kit, which also has some advocacy sort of material, which might even provide a bit of a model that could be used in trying to keep Aussie going in Victoria. I don't know, there's some suggested letters to ministers, that sort of thing. So the other thing is we held our first Sustain Ed Zoom, and it was an international one, so which is great. We had Ralph Buck from Auckland University, and he was able to fill us in on the background to the World Arts Alliance in Education. And basically we want to keep this going as a way for sharing, and we invite people to join us if they have an arts education interest, to connect with sustainability education. I think, as we saw from Kirsty's wonderful presentation, the arts engage people, and this is important work. So thanks, Colin.
Great, Sharon, thank you. And the new Millennium Development Goals very strongly incorporate sustainability. So they're worth a look, and they may be something that there may be a possibility of connecting people up across Australia and internationally in terms of what they're calling on us to do. One of the interdisciplinary groups we've got running is how do we identify, audit, stocktake sustainability education in the tertiary sector? How do we know that we're doing it, and what does it look like? How do we define it, and then how do we actually know how well we're going? And Sarah Rickards, you're at UTS, is that right? Is Sarah there?
Can you hear me, Colin?
Yeah, great. Okay, great.
Yeah, so Colin and Bonnie and myself have met, and it's been great for us just to have a little bit of space and essentially share our stories of how to embed sustainability into the curriculum. We're all kind of coming at it from different angles, so it's been really interesting to sort of share what works and what doesn't work. So Colin's been doing a lot of work to embed sort of, is it 3 main principles and a lot of assignments into across programs and across units at La Trobe, and Bonnie's obviously been doing a lot of work on the threshold learning outcomes around sustainability. So it's been great to have a lot of transparency around who's doing what. And yeah, I'm not an academic staff member, so it's been great as a professional staff member to be able to learn from academics about what works.
Yeah, great. So we'll probably have another one of those meetings sometime soon. We're getting around to that. So anyone who wants to try and grapple that issue of what are our definitions of sustainability education, and how do we go about identifying it, and how does it link with good education in tertiary? There's some of the sort of questions we're trying to dig into. There's an early childhood education hub, thank you, Alison, and Sue Elliott, who was going to talk on that, is having trouble with her connection. But Leanne Grogan, I can see you're online there. Do you want to just say something about that off the cuff, Leanne? I'm not sure your mic's turned on, Leanne. We can't hear you from here. Sorry. No. Yeah, can't hear you. There's something going on there. You might need to check your settings, but we probably can't do that now. Alison, were you involved in that group?
Well, I went to a meeting, so I'll quickly say something.
Yeah. So Alison's our sort of coordinator of this project, and she'll be talking to you a bit more in a moment. But
hi there. So I don't actually work in early childhood, but I did attend one of the meetings, and I must say it was very interesting. This hub has only just started, but there are many people working in early childhood, it seems, that have a lot of experience with sustainability and are working hard to develop that area. So I think Leanne, I don't know, Leanne, can you hear me? Can you just indicate? Are you able to speak? Because you know a lot more detail than I. No, you can't. Okay. So we had a meeting a little while ago online, and the plan is to have some others, but I know that there's a group of people, I think Leanne, Sue, Elliot, Julie Davies, some others who I don't know, are meeting overseas soon.
that will be on there.
Prior to the WEEC conference. So they'll take up a lot of the issues from there.
Yeah, right. And Alison and I are going to the World Environment Education Conference as well, and we'll be reporting on this network as part of what we're doing and seeing what other people are doing by way of networking as well. So they're the areas that are currently running. I think they're all the areas. And we have had a bit of discussion around business education as well. There are already networks in the business area and a lot of interest in it. I don't know whether Sue, the two Suzannes, Sue, Ben, do you want to just give us a 1 minute kind of thought about how this network might contribute, Sue, to what the networks that are already there? You'll need to turn your... Sue, right.
So I'd have to say I think Melissa's been more involved with this than I have. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yes, we can. Yeah, I'm just turning mine off because there's a bit of feedback.
And our main efforts outside from the UTS network have been through the website, the sustainability website, but also I guess we're involved with an international group of educators particularly in the management area, because we belong, Melissa and I, a number of other people in Australia, belong to the Academy of Management, Organisation and Natural Environment division. And that's a huge division of maybe 1,000 people or something of a much bigger academy. And, that's quite strong emphasis in that division on the educational aspect. And also we've got connections and been making more connections into the educational aspect of that Academy of Management. So, there's a huge audience out there who are interested in this area, in the business, particularly management area. But, increasingly linking it into what colleagues are doing in accounting and finance in particular, and also the marketers. So we have our working party here that's cross-disciplinary, and so do many other business schools.
So what we might do, Sue, and Suzanne O'Keefe's here as well, and a few other people from business, what we might do is have a, I've got the wrong name, Suzanne Young, sorry. I get you two mixed up a little bit. So what we might do is actually get a hub meeting online and just have a bit of a discussion about what we might contribute, if anything, to the overall development here. So I'll schedule a meeting and we'll just have a bit of a discussion. Is there anything that we can do to help, or are there good organisations and networks already?